Hi folks, I'm Nate with Two Guides and a Ride. Today Rob and I are out here in beautiful Des Moines, Iowa. We're at the 31st Speedway Motors Heartland Nationals, and we are here with Speed. Now, Speed, we had a lot of fun watching you out on the track. We're looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow. But tell us what you have back here.
56 Ford big window F100.
Now, it isn't just any F100.
No.
This has family history. So
yeah, it does. My grandfather's truck.
It's your grandpa's truck.
Right, yeah.
Now, your grandpa bought it new, used?
Used, yep.
Okay. All right. And you remember riding in this when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah, I drove this on my dad's lap when I was a little kid. Yeah, it was the first one I ever drove like that.
Now, it's been a few years out in the sort of the back 50.
Right, yeah, we had it out in the cattle yard, actually, and it was pretty rough when I picked it up.
Okay. So when you got it, your whole purpose was to restore it to race.
Yeah,
okay.
That's pretty much, yep, to have a hot rod.
Now, do you think your grandfather would have approved of this modification?
Yeah, he liked stuff.
Oh, he would have liked that. Okay.
It. Yeah, my dad would have loved it too. My dad actually drove it right after I got it done, before he passed away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so he got a chance to drive it too.
Oh yeah, he got to drive.
And so here you are, you know, years later after growing up, after having ridden in it as a kid with your grandfather, and now you're racing. That's just amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about the vehicle itself.
Okay.
It's got a lot of custom parts. So, original body.
Yeah. What's original on is the cab and the box sides.
Okay.
It's got LMC fenders and hood and front balance.
Okay.
Actually, LMC kind of saved this truck. It's got LMC running boards on it that have been shortened. LMC tailgate. A lot of the different stuff off it. But yeah, it was a pretty. I mean, the chrome and stuff was pretty decent on it, and around the windows and stuff, but LMC really kind of saved it, you know.
Okay.
And it was a long box, two-wheel drive.
And so you chopped the box.
Yeah, chopped the box. The box is like little over 5 feet, where it was 8.5 feet, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really long, and it had the spare tire on the side of it and stuff too.
Okay. All right. So, underneath here, what did it have as a motor?
It had a V8.
About how much horsepower did the original engine have?
Oh, the original engine, I'm not sure. Around 200, maybe at the most.
Maybe at the most?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about what you put in here.
Well, it's a Vortex 6.0, and I've had it tuned. It's got about 375 horse in it, and it's basically a crate motor. And the tranny's from GM Performance.
Okay.
And we stuffed her in there and did the wiring and stuff. So it has cruise control on it. And,
it's plated to drive every day.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
So one of the things that we noticed both when you went around the track, because like I said, we had a lot of fun watching you, is how well planted all four tires stayed. Yeah. And you were cooking. I mean, that.
Well, I had a lot of help with that.
Okay.
Probably the best thing is Scott Fraser's helped me a lot and helped me get the truck, balanced a little better. And he helped me with Mike Weir with Fox shocks. I sent my shocks in and they revalved them and got them working better for me. It's the best this truck has ever run that way. It's solid and not roll as much. We just put a new sway bar on it that really helped a lot.
That's thick.
Yeah, it's an 1.5 inch sway bar, and we were picking this front wheel up coming out of the corners, and it's got it set down now. So yeah, put a little more rear spring in it, and that helped. I
certainly didn't see anything pulling up coming around the corners. You were out there,
and you can feel it when it comes up. The crowd kind of loves it, but it's not turning the way you want, but the crowd loves it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I see the wheel come up.
Now you've had a little bit of help doing it, but how much of this have you done yourself?
Quite a bit of it. I did the paint, and I did all the body work on it and stuff.
So, talk about paint. How did you get this done?
Well, it originally started out, the LMC stuff come black, so I just left it black, and I had yellow doors on it and some of the original paint on it and stuff, and my wife was like, why don't you just make it all one color? And I said, I could do that. So one day I went out and got a bunch of leaves and stuff out of the yard and grass and that, and I got Rust-Oleum camel paint. Started spraying it against the weeds and stuff, and that's how I did it. And it's like similar to what the guys do with the duck boats and stuff to
So you would actually like put a weed up against it?
Yeah, I sprayed it. Yep.
So this is where
where the weed was laying. Yeah, so the green dark color is where the weed was.
Okay,
and
so
the
you already had so you put like a base black?
Yeah, they had base black on it.
Okay, so that's why we're seeing the darker colors where things were
And it's several layers to get kind of a shadow effect.
Right.
To it. And it doesn't really show up on it doesn't really show up on camera, but when you're close to it, you can see the difference.
It's really neat because
see, here's we've got wild hemp that grows.
Okay.
And that's wild hemp, and it's whatever grew out in my, I live on an acreage in farm area, and that's what grew out. Most of it's brome grass, and
I love it though. It's very unique. I mean, it is. You'll not find another camouflage paint job like this.
It took about 4.5 hours to do it, and I touch it up all the time.
That's it. 4.5 hours going around the truck. I don't think that's very much.
No, it didn't take long at all.
Man. Now, standard axle in the rear?
It's got an S10 axle with a Camaro center section in it.
Okay. Yep. All right. And then on the inside, the poor truck is a little confused.
It's got Chrysler seats in it. Chrysler 300 seats. So I'm not loyal to any brand. Whatever it works.
It's got a Chevy steering wheel and shift column, right?
Right. Yep.
And then it's got a Ford dashboard.
Yeah, the Ford. Yeah, it's got actually the dash is out of a van, Chevy van.
Oh, it is out of a van.
Yeah. There's no glass.
We're having a debate on that, and I thought it was 40,000 Chevy, but okay. And you got powered seats.
Oh yeah, power seats. They're heated and everything, but they're not hooked up. Because for me, it's all the way back. All the way back, all the way down.
Okay. Any other modifications you made? Obviously, besides the dashboard, I mean the entire sort of inside. Besides the doors.
Yeah.
The doors would be original except for maybe the card.
No, it's all original except for the bear claw latches.
Oh, okay.
And then, the floorboard on this side was gone, and the cab corner and the front cowl panel there was gone. That's all LMC panels that I welded in there. And the other side was really solid. This door had a broken window in it, and it was open.
Okay.
And
so
and my dad was in Arizona for the winter, and I saw on Craigslist that there was a pair of fenders and a pair of doors, and I had my dad and my uncle go out and look at them, and they bought them and brought them back to me, from the Snowbird deal.
Okay.
So that's how I got those, and Kurt Harshfield's made like all the extensions, and he made all the suspension bracketry and the tranny bracketry.
It's nice to have good friends.
Yeah, it is. Especially with the shop that he has. He's got H&H metal fab he's got lasers, and he's got CNC machines and water jets and all kinds. He's a very talented young man.
All right, so now talking about family and friends.
Yeah.
You have anyone in your family, any kids that are interested in racing?
My daughter would like to do this. I've got one son that would like to do it. I've got a 71 GMC short box that he would like to have. So, and I'm building that to try to replace this truck, Okay. So, and then Katie, my daughter Katie, she'd like to drive this. She's driven this before.
Right. It's not that they haven't.
She's taken it out on Friday nights and went to volleyball games and stuff with it. Did that kind of stuff with it.
I just think it's absolutely so cool that your grandfather owned this. Now, when you grew up, what kind of drove your interest in cars? I mean, why were you interested in cars at all?
Well, my dad was in the Army, and he was a mechanic in the Army when he was in the Army. And he had all these books and stuff on mechanics and stuff, and we were on the farm, and we just did our own stuff. My dad taught me how to weld when I was pretty young, and we fixed our own stuff. And my dad was an electrician, owned his own electrical business, and had a backhoe deal and repaired tiles and stuff for farmers and that.
Sure.
And then for himself too. He farmed, and then when I got ready to go out of school, I wanted to do body work, so I wanted to learn how to paint cars and stuff. So I went to school for that.
Now, didn't you? We were talking earlier. You mentioned something about a pickup that you had.
Yeah.
That your dad would let you kind of do anything.
Oh yeah, he just let me go. It was amazing. It was a '63 Chevy 3/4 ton long box, and it was just an old farm truck, and it had 6-cylinder in it with a 4-speed, and he would let me tear the hell out of that thing. I mean, he just let me go. I'd go out in the pasture saying I'm checking cattle or checking fence, and I would go out and do donuts and see how fast I get it going through the pasture and down through the mud and everything else, you know. And he never said a word, you know, about stop tearing my old truck up or anything. He just let me do it.
So what an amazing story, Speed. I mean, a truck that your grandfather owned, you rode in as a kid.
Oh yeah.
You remember doing something, maybe steering or shifting.
Oh yeah, sitting on my dad's lap driving it. Yeah.
You know, your dad has memories. You have memories of your dad in here. Yeah. Then it sits in the back 40 for a while. You resurrect it, come back with, well, this is sort of the current version of it, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Everything modifies and grows.
Right.
And changes.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I mean,
you want it modern. You know, you want it to be able to drive it safe and stop and all that.
That's just incredible. Now your daughter and son are both interested in racing, so it looks like looks like Speed runs in the family.
Yeah. Hopefully it will. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, thank you for taking your time to share your story and your truck with us. We sure appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks.